the Colts game in 24 hours, we'll know who the winner is. This game is absolutely massive for the Colts. Let's talk about what's going to happen.
Quadrant 3 on the way. Oh! Long time.
Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Indiana Sports Connection. So this episode is a little bit different. 24 hours from now, the Colts will be playing the Texans. We will know the score Friday night right now while I'm recording this, and the Colts have an absolutely massive game tomorrow night. It's a do or die game to get into the playoffs. And first of all, and I know a ton of people have said this, the Colts, look how far they've come. Look how far both of these teams, the NFL really turns over. We think of like the same teams being good year over year over year. There's always new teams in the playoffs. These two teams picked 3 and 4 in the draft last year, the Texans and the Colts. And now they're both playing for a spot in the playoffs. I mean, really both had pretty decent seasons, and we're just to the point where you can't wait to watch these games because that's how we're going to, grade this season. But no matter if they win or lose tomorrow, I mean, I think they get a B+ on the season if they lose tomorrow. But if they make it in the playoffs, A-. And if they win a playoff game, A+. Winning a playoff game, I would say that was not even to start this season. I really did think the Colts were going to win like 6 games would be the maximum. I didn't think the line could play as bad as they played last year. I got this clip from the Rich Eisen show. Michael Pittman was on there, and he's just talking about a little bit of what Shane Steichen does. And I just wanted to play this real quick. Let's roll that clip just of how Shane Steichen, the man on campus there for the Colts right now.
Is because your mates took care of business after you left the field that night against the Steelers, and you have been taking care of business more often than not. What's been different this year because of Coach Steichen, Michael?
I would probably say our attention to detail and just the way that we practice. He really demands a level of excellence, and he's very consistent with it, like every day. Like it doesn't fade. And sometimes getting late, like in the season, like you can kind of like relax, but he never does. He's the same guy every single day, and I think that rubs off on like other people.
So yeah, Michael Pittman, really good interview. Really talked greatly of Coach Steichen, how great he's been this year, and this game is going to really be who's going to be Coach of the Year. I believe this game is really D'Amico Ryan for the Texans, who he played for the Patriots. Don't quote me on that. Leave a comment down below. But D'Amico Ryan with them, Steichen for the Colts have done a great job. I mean, the entire division this season, I feel like for years, going back to even the Manning years, people talked a lot of crap about the AFC South and how bad it was and all these things. Honestly, the AFC East has been way worse than the AFC South. I mean, don't even get me started. Tom Brady always had way easy division because the Jets and Bills sucked for years and years and years. AFC South getting some respect here once again, or maybe for the first time, we've had this many teams like above 500 or at or above 500. So good year for the AFC South. Now, in this game, Gardner Minshew, he is going to be critical in this game for the Colts. Pittman, back 100%. Taylor, he's dealt with a thumb injury or like a hand injury a little bit. I believe he's playing in the game tomorrow. All right, first thing, let's go through this injury report just real quick. So, for the Colts, they have Chris Lamons is out. But we already know Julian Blackmon is out. Julian Blackmon out for the season. Not too many other injuries. We got a few people questionable. Ryan Kelly questionable. Nelson questionable. Kenny Moore questionable. Zach Moss questionable. And Braden Smith questionable. Let's hope those guys can play. So Noah Brown and Jonathan Grenard for the Texans they are out for this game. And they have Rankins questionable, Laramie Tunsil's questionable, Robert Woods questionable, Will Anderson questionable. He's been dealing with an ankle injury, and I mean, he's been getting back to healthy, so you got to think he's going to be a factor in this game. I don't really want to make too many predictions on the game. I feel like at this point, I am maybe a little bit too satisfied. I'm very satisfied that they beat the Steelers and they beat the Raiders. Those were games I really, really wanted them to win. Just personal grudge reasons myself. So, just never liked the Steelers, and I've never really liked the Raiders either. So I was glad they beat those teams. And check out this mic'd up clip of Gardner Minshew with after the Raiders game. This was hilarious.
Little last boy.
Minshew's pass is incomplete.
Little last boy.
Dude, Max Crosby is so damn angry. Bro, he just...
But the thing is, he's not really that angry.
I know, right? He keeps calling everybody little ass boy. Hey, little ass boy. I'm like, I'm little out here, but not always,
But yeah, little ass boy. That's hilarious. My prediction for the Colts, I mean, they have to get some pressure on CJ Stroud. I know I say this week over week. Rookie quarterbacks like this, they take too many sacks and they make too many mistakes when the rush comes. Now, he had one game where he threw 3 interceptions and he threw 5 interceptions in another game. So Stroud has been not making mistakes, but that doesn't mean you can't force him into mistakes. That being said, Gus Bradley is not going to rush the quarterback. I think we all know that, except for when he was in the situation with Lamar Jackson where he saw, I guess, no other way. He blitzed him like 60 or 70% of the time. I forget. It was like he just blitzed him constantly in the fourth quarter. But that's going to be huge for what's going to happen in this game. And as a huge fan of the Colts and a huge fan of football in general, I just can't wait to watch this. Really much better, much more satisfying season to watch for the Colts. Not like they're world beaters or they're going to the Super Bowl or anything, but it's just a step in the right direction. And we heard what Pittman said about Coach Shane Steichen, and he's just been a great guy to come in and just he was just exactly what the team needed after having Reich as the coach for those years that he was there. So big game tomorrow night. Let's go Colts. Let's get the victory and head to the playoffs and I think we'll be playing the Browns if we win. Like most likely, I've seen a few different scenarios, but Browns or Miami, that either way, hey, anything can happen. Once you get in the playoffs, you got a few games, fumbles, all these crazy things can happen. It's not out of the question. So looking forward to the game. Made this just a short video. I didn't really want to get into too analytical stuff. Now, I did look at picks from all these people's picks, and every single person's picks were on the Texans, and I was going to read those off, but we know everybody thinks the Texans are going to win this game, and everybody is really counting the Colts out of this game because of the quarterback play. They just don't think Gardner Minshew is up to the status of where CJ Stroud is right now. So they're going to pick the Texans because they're banking on Minshew to fail. Nobody on the Texans really makes me think they're going to just blow us out of the water or anything like that. These division games are always really, really close. They just come down to a play or two, and that's what it's going to be. This is going to come down to 1 or 2 plays at the end of the game, picking up a third or a fourth or something like that, and making a couple of plays like that. That's what it's going to take to win a game like this, making a couple of big plays under pressure. CJ Stroud, you should have not said that Indianapolis is a weak city. I don't know why you would have said that anyways to begin with. A very stupid thing to say, really, because you went to college in Columbus, Ohio, which is right over there, and it's literally just a shittier version of Indianapolis. It's a town about the same size of Indianapolis that has no pro sports teams. So I don't really know what you got in the bag for saying that, but you've been living in Columbus, Ohio, so say we're a weak city, you know? You play for a team that absolutely sucks. You know, when the Texans point to greatness, they point to Matt Schaub. Okay, we're in the upper quartile of all the quartiles.
That means in the upper quartile of winners, we're in the top quartile of that upper quartile. That's rare.
I still believe that. So, but if anything, if you watch this video, that CJ Stroud should fire the Colts fans up, and we should be loud as hell during this game and let this guy have it and get the pass rush after him and take him down. That's going to be the difference in this game. Get after this guy, rush him, and make him fumble the ball and turn the ball over. And the Colts will be walking out of there with a victory and be walking into the playoffs next week. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Indiana Sports Connection. I am your residential anchor, Aaron. I didn't even thank my sponsor, Reynolds Wrap, yet, but thank you to Reynolds Wrap for sponsoring this video. This stuff will save you time if you're making anything tomorrow during the games. Get that Reynolds Wrap, wrap it all up, and you can throw this stuff away, go right back to watching the game like it never even happened. Colts, big game tomorrow. Can't wait to see what's going to happen. Absolutely great feeling to have a game to play into the playoffs. I can't not predict this. I did not think this, but as the season has gone on, when the Colts were 3-5, I couldn't see them being here, but they have fought. They are a resilient bunch of guys and playing better. And then we got better quarterback play, and hopefully it just keeps getting better and better with Shane Steichen, first-year coach, doing a great job. I'm going to stop rambling and get off of here. Stay classy out there, Colts and Hoosier fans.
Watford 3 on the way.